I guess I do have a final question for the three of you, and that is, how has the pandemic changed things for your reporting? And clearly you couldn't have gone to Tajikistan at this point, but are there a whole lot of things that are not being done and not being reported because of the pandemic? Rukmini, what would you say?
I mean, I would say that might be on the war on terrorism, and on the problem of terrorism has suffered, because I mean, for the longest time, I don't think that Iraq was even open. Syria, the border crossing into Syria, as far as I know, is not open. So I couldn't even physically go, to the places that have fed that beat. At the same time, I think that the pandemic, and the social upheaval that's happening in America right now really is one of the biggest topics, and the looming election and what's going to happen with that, and whether the election results are going to be accepted, are, I think, very important questions, and so therefore I'm grateful that I'm able to contribute to that recording. And
how about from the visual team here? Geoff and Singeli, how much are you able to do? How much are you basically just feeling unable to do?
I feel like I've been busier since February than I've been in years, actually. I covered the pandemic, and it's just everything takes longer, there's a lot more steps in keeping everyone safe. But I covered COVID in New York. I went to Brazil and covered COVID. I've now been doing a project more about just domestic unrest. But we've been getting out there, and it's all takes more time and a lot more steps and care. But it's been a very intense time reporting wise for me, and I feel like it's just everywhere you turn, there's stuff to report on. And I think there have been cases, I mean, with Tajikistan, for instance, it's been very tough. I mean, again, for a country that already suffered with reporter freedom, it's been very tough to get in and out for anyone, and information to get in and out. But I think there's stories everywhere for us to look at.
Anything to add, Geoff?
No, I mean, these guys kind of hit on it, from a production standpoint. Like she said, things just take a little bit longer, and you got to get more creative. Unfortunately, I'm working on a story now that's based out in LA, so we're dealing with COVID and fires, and the story has nothing to do with either of those, but we have to, taking those into account,
Yeah. On the Breonna Taylor film here in Kentucky, one of the rules that the production side imposed is that all of our interviews had to be filmed outdoors. So I mean, that comes with its own challenges, like we're looking, there's only so many parks you can go to, that don't start looking the same, so we have a team that is constantly scoping out parks and looking for new fresh locations so that every interview doesn't look like we just put the same person up against the same tree, but yeah.
Well, thank you all so much. This has really been an interesting conversation, and congratulations once again on the Collision documentary. It's fantastic. I watched it a few days ago after not having seen it for several months, and it was still as emotionally charged and powerful as ever, and great work.
Thank you, Vivienne.
Thank you.
Thank you, OPC.
Yes, thank you, everyone, and thank you very much, Vivienne, for a very interesting program. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.